OK, but we are going to start with Manchester United's 1-0 win at Everton last night. It was the substitute, Benjamin Šeško, who scored another goal from off the bench to earn Michael Carrick's side the win to strengthen their hopes of securing Champions League football. Look, Ashley, it's interesting, isn't it? Because Jamie Carragher was saying that United are guaranteed Champions League football now. Do you agree with that?
Well, nothing's guaranteed, is it?
No, that's true.
Their form could fall away. I think in this form and the way they're playing, they are definitely guaranteed, and it would be probably Aston Villa looking over their shoulder at Manchester United, because they are playing really good since Michael Carrick's been in. I don't see their form changing at all. I think he's got a formula that works, and that they're enjoying their football. They look happy about it. So, you know, in terms of that, if they can keep performing like that, yes, they're guaranteed Champions League football, but you just never know with football in the Premier League. We see it with teams all the time, and form is such a flippant thing that it could go another way, but they do look in a really healthy place. Yeah,
there's a nice tussle for it at the moment in terms of the table. Gary Neville perhaps has rose-tinted glasses on, who knows, but he thinks they're finished third. What do you think of that?
I have to say, at the minute, I agree with him. I think Manchester United are the form team over Villa.
Yeah.
Aston Villa look a little bit nervous, and you know that they're starting to listen to the fans, and they're starting to look at Manchester United and worry about that instead of just doing what they need to do. So, you know, I'm happy for Manchester United. It's been such a difficult, however many years for the fan base. Now, you know, they're looking at a team that they enjoy watching. I enjoy watching. I'm not a Manchester United fan, but at the minute, this football, their style of football that they're playing is really good. So you want, you know, if you're a fan of the Premier League, you want to see Manchester United doing well, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that. You might disagree with that, being with your Aston Villa hat on there, Dave. But it has been an amazing turnaround, hasn't it, since Carrick arrived?
Yeah, I mean, it has. I mean, they've played well. I don't think a lot of people will remember the game at Hill Dickinson last night in 10 years' time as a Premier League classic. But you can't argue with the results. Look at that, unbeaten, 5 wins out of 6, different kinds of opposition, different kinds of performances. And if you look at the form table as well across the rest of the Premier League, they've been absolutely magnificent compared to the rest of the Premier League. There they are, top of the form table, 16 points from 6 games ahead of Chelsea, Manchester City, Bournemouth, Arsenal and West Ham as well. So the question is now, where might they finish? Well, I guess if you were thinking about where they started the season under Ruben Amorim and then where they might initially finish under Ruben Amorim. So we've got match weeks along the bottom here and the cumulative points along the vertical. And if you obviously starting bottom left, that is Ruben Amorim in charge. And then Amorim is obviously greyed out there around match week 21 when Darren Fletcher took charge, and then we can see Michael Carrick.
Is there anything that Michael Carrick can do in that time to change your view?
Look, I think that Manchester United have to pursue another manager right now on the basis of what Edwin's just said around the fact that you don't know how the results are going to go. But I think, look, little things like Tuchel re-signing with England does start to take away the options for Manchester United and mean that it doesn't harm Michael's chances of getting the job. Look, I think if he gets into the Champions League, then there'll be a lot of fever, I would imagine, around that he should be appointed. So, look, I'm not against Michael being appointed. I love him to bits and think that he's done an incredible job so far. I just feel that Manchester United should go for the best-in-class manager available. They've had young managers or sort of inexperienced managers in the last 2. It's not quite worked. Obviously, Ollie's come in before. He was an ex-player. He did a very good job for a couple of years. But, again, that didn't work in the end. So I just feel removing as much risk as possible is the right option. But that, you know, people will know me that that's not personal against Michael, because I love him to bits. He's a great lad, a great player, and someone who's doing a very good job as a coach now.
Michael, your keeper told us that it wasn't the prettiest, but you're going to take that, aren't you, and the clean sheet that came with it?
Yeah, without doubt. I think there's games when you have to do that and show different sides to the game, really. And I kind of expected, you know, we had the first 4 games where the first, obviously, 4 wins in a row, and some really good performances in there, and I kind of expected a little bit of a kind of period where we would have to find ourselves a little bit and find results, and what we did it to a point at West Ham, and we had to do it today, and that spirit, that sacrifice, that willingness to work for each other and as a team. I think the way we had to defend the box for the last spell of the game, everybody playing their part, and in the end a clean sheet, fantastic, and a great win for us.
The fact that you hadn't played for a while, did that affect the performance at all? It was a bit of a slog, wasn't it?
It was. It didn't really come easy for us tonight. It's a tough I've came to Everton for a long time, and when we come over here, it's always tough. And so I've never had an easy game. I've never had a game where it's all clicked. I don't think I can remember. So we expected a tough one tonight. Listen, when we played our last game is what it is, you know. But the lads have trained really well actually, and we came in looking and feeling good about the game. It just was one of those nights for us, and it was a bit of a we had to dig deep. It was a bit of a struggle at times, but sometimes they're the best ones to win.
You used the word click there. 3 summer signings, they all clicked, didn't they, for the goal? Yeah,
it was a great move. We know we're capable of that. I think we've got players that can do that, and if we defend as a team and we put the work in, then we always feel we got a chance. The clean sheet was just as important as the goal, but it was a fabulous goal, brilliant from Mateus, defending well, changing in the transition, and Brian picks out the pass, and for Ben it's just a really confident, strong finish, which I liked. You know, it was fantastic. Delighted for him again. He's made an impact again, and he keeps doing it.
And what kind of impact is he going to make going forward? Has he done enough for you to maybe have